Welcome to the channel Learning R is Fun. In the last video, we have discussed about various operators in R. In a previous video, we had covered an important data type in R, namely vectors. In this video, we will cover another data structure, list. We will cover lists in two parts for better understanding. Vectors can have only same type of elements like integers, double precision numbers, characters, or logical data types. If you try to create a vector with different types of elements, R will coerce them, convert them to the same type. But lists are different. Lists can contain elements of different types like numbers, strings, vectors, and lists themselves inside it or even functions. R data models have been designed to give their findings in the form of lists. Lists are most flexible, but their structure is a little bit cumbersome to comprehend. R stores the components of a list again in the form of lists. In today's session, let us learn to create lists and look at their structure and name list elements. Let us do some work in RStudio to learn the list construct better. I have got the script in the editor. As usual, let us go by the script. We will create a list, my list, with three elements, 1, 3 and 5. That is our first statement to be executed. We have done and next prompt has come. It means my list has been created. Let us look at the length of this my list. As expected, it is 3. And always R gives in the form of a vector. The result is 3. Now let us have a look at the my list. Now what we see here, number 1 is mentioned within 2 square brackets. That means this is a list. So R stores the elements of a list also in the form of a list. Therefore this is what you get. So this is the first element. Number 2 is again a second element. Number 3 is a third element. Now, after saying number 1 is the first element and then within that it has to give the contents of the first element. Now, content of the element is 1 and 1 by itself is also stored in a vector form. That is why it shows index 1 and then 1. Similarly for the second element and third element. Now, let's do more examples. This will be clear. We will create my list 0 in which we will create 1:10 elements and we will give list function as usual. So, let's see. My list 0 has been created. Let us look at the length of my list 0. We get 1. If you are expecting 10, then here there is a puzzle. 1:10 is considered as a single element because that element is a vector by itself and individually the elements of the vectors have not been given to list. What we gave is 1:10 which is nothing but an integer vector. So list contains only one integer vector and that is available here. Now let us look at my list 0, then we may be able to understand this. It says my list 0, only one element is there and that one element is a vector and that vector starts from index 1 to 10. So one element is available and that is shown in the form of a vector. Okay, now we will look at some mixing of data types. My list 1 will create using list function. Here we will now use 3 elements. First element is a numeric integer we can say, but we have not given L suffix. Therefore, it is to be treated as a double or numeric. Next, we gave a logical value true. Then we gave a concatenation of 2 character strings. So, this is a character vector, this is a logical vector and this is a double vector or numeric vector. So, now let us create my list 1 and let us have a look at my list 1. since there are 3 elements here, we got 3, 1, 2, 3 in double square brackets. The content of that element is shown in the next line immediately following it. So here in the third one, we see a character vector John and Jill. Now you see, in the case of vectors, we can't store mixed atomic data types. So in that case, what would have happened if instead of creating mylist1, had I created my vector with the same elements? This time I'll give name Pooja Pinky. Now let us see my vector. My vector has been created. We'll see my vector again. R does a function called coercion. It converts everything into one particular type, that is character type. Now 10 numeral has become a 10 character. True logic value has become a true character. And these two again have been flattened and given as characters. The vector elements have been put in and we got a flat one single vector. So this is what is happening if you create different data types into a vector. Let us look at the structure of my vector. Structure of my vector says it's a simple character vector with four elements. So what happens is in case of vector, the individual atomic data types not maintained and R coerces them and flattens them, whereas list retains the individual types. Now we'll see some more examples. We'll start off with the letters built-in constant. So let me clear the console now. Control. And the structure of the letters is a vector, character vector, and in that we will take 23 to 26. That means just 4 letters, and that again is a vector, character vector. Now we will create mylist2, in which we will include mylist, the list which we created, and then letters, which is a vector created just now. So we will create first mylist2. So this mylist2 contains one list and one vector. Before looking at what is mylist2, let me find out what is mylist which I had created earlier. So this is mylist. Now we look at mylist2. Mylist2 has got 2 elements, 1 and 2. There are 2 elements. In the first element, we have, since it's a list, so that is again shown as a list. That is, mylist2 element number is given, followed by the first element mylist number is given. And that mylist first number we know is 1 vector. So that vector has come here. Now the whole arrangement here is in the first element. That's why this first element is mentioned here and second element is mentioned here. Now we need not deal with this many square brackets. There are better ways and we'll learn them later. But first one should have an understanding. In case of letters, it is a single vector and that vector is part of mylist2. And since it is part of the mylist2, it should be shown as a list. Therefore, it is shown as a list. And then the contents are shown here. Similarly, you can get into more analysis. I have given another example of mylist3, in which again mylist3 can be seen. And this, if you want, you can carefully write down the individual elements of this mylist3, that is mylist and mylist2 separately, and then see how that matches with this. We will not get into this discussion. We will now move on how to name the list elements. So in this example, we will create a list first, student list. So let me just create student. It's a list containing 2 names, John and Murugan. We will create now a vector, age 21, 24, and then city, Chennai and Rome. Now we will create a list, again ST list, student list, in which we will include all these 3 members. Student, which is a list, age and city, which are vectors. It is something similar to what we have done earlier, only thing is this time we have given the names. First we'll create ST-list. Now the individual members will give a separate name. Here we'll give name, years and place. For 3 different elements, we have given 3 different names. Now we are going to assign names to the ST-list elements using names function. So names, ST-list, and we give the names here in a concatenation function. Let us execute this and then we'll see ST-list. Now many of the square brackets have been removed to some extent, and what we are seeing is a simple arrangement of name, years, place. The 3 names which we gave here are shown as the element in the beginning, and then followed by that, within that what is available, that is shown here. $place again is a list subset, $years is a list subset, $name is a list subset. So ST-list has been compactly mentioned by R using the principles which we have discussed as above. We'll wind up this session at this stage, and in the next session we'll see how to extract the elements of a list. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.